Attention, listener, I have an assignment for you. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to engage with the Real Nerds, aka the best podcast on the internet. You can listen to their episodes on their website, realnerdspodcast.com. And you can also listen to them on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and iTunes. Follow their social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This message will self-destruct never.
Hi, this is Dave Callahan, creator of Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
And this is Peter Atencio, the director of Jean-Claude Van Johnson, and you're listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
This is Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Pop Culture Con 2021 and beyond. I am Ryan, again on Zoom with Brad and Zach. What's
Greetings,
up, boys?
my excellent friends.
Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go to the movies and we see a new movie. This week we saw Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Excellent.
Yes. Stay tuned for at the end of the show where we'll tell you if you'd see the film or not. Play the trailer, and then we'll spoil the movie. We also talk about movies that are coming on Blu-ray, movie news, and things we've been watching throughout the week. Did I mention last week, Brad? I'm sorry, I can't remember. I've been so busy this week that I ran into like a Denver radio personality when I was at the Denver Comic Coins, Cards, and Comics.
I think you tweeted about it. You didn't talk about it on the show.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, sorry, because I can't believe I forgot to talk about this because he's really cool. So, my job, I do a lot of driving around.
What?
And yeah.
You're not one of those walk the beat cops that like swings a baton and like tops his hat to the local storefront owners?
Well, you know, at 10 o'clock at night, that doesn't really exist. So, especially in Idaho Springs, it's a little more quiet, you know. But so I was at Coins, Cards, and Comics on the last day of new comics there, and I was just looking at comics, and I saw this guy walk in, and I recognized him, so I listened to Sports Talk while I drive, and his name is Cecil Lammy, and he always talks on the show. I was a big comic book nerd, and you know, he's a fantasy football guy, so I've listened to his show for years because he gives you hints on fantasy football. So he was just perusing the new comics that are coming out, and I always remembered, you know, I don't know if I've talked about it in a long time. The first Denver Comic Con we attended, I talked to Michael Uslan, and he always told us that if you see an opportunity, just kick down the door and take the opportunity. Don't be afraid.
Oh, you kicked him in the face, didn't you? God damn it, Ryan!
I thought I'd get his attention.
Wrong move, dude.
But. And he was saying it as, you know, like as a metaphor, you know, you never know. And that's how we got him on the show, is he just said, hey, you know, do it. So I just walked up and I said, hey, Cecil Lamb, I just want to let you know I listen to your show every night while I work. And he said, oh, thanks, brother. What do you do? I said, well, I'm a cop, so I'm patrolling all the time. And I said, I've listened to your show for years. And he said, well, I appreciate that, man. And so then he started talking about, he said, well, what comics do you like? And I said, oh, you know, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. And so we just started talking. He talked to me for like an hour about comics, about movies, because he's a big movie guy. And he wants to come on the show. So I'm trying to set up a time where we can just get him on the show. And he's down. So maybe around Black Widow or something, we can do a interview and then include it in our Black Widow podcast, so he doesn't have to, you know, do our whole podcast. I always feel weird asking a guest to sit down through one of our podcasts, and but it was really. Is
it something about our rants that go on forever? Is that?
Yeah, probably. But what was really cool is he was so friendly and super cool, and then he sent me a friend request on Facebook, and just a really nice guy. And he started following us too on Twitter. And that night I was driving around town and he mentioned me on the radio and saying that he enjoyed talking with me, and it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Did he say I enjoy talking to Ryan or Ryan from Realtors podcast?
No, he just said Ryan.
I
know. I know. But it was cool because he does a show with a former Bronco safety named Nick Ferguson. And he said, Nick, you totally love this dude, Ryan, I met today. We talked for about an hour about comics and movies. And
I think he'd be a really good quarterback for the Denver Broncos, actually.
Put me in, coach. But no, it was really nice to have someone. I mean, radio guys, I've learned like radio guys, voice actor guys are usually pretty approachable. But it was kind of cool that he took time to talk to me. And he was so funny because he talked to me for an hour. And then the only reason he stopped talking to me is he got called by the Brandon Stokely and Zach By show, and he had to go do a Broncos report. So he was super cool, and it was really nice. And yeah, it's just it was a really cool experience. And I was going to post, I have this lengthy article about coins, cards, and comics. Basically, it just talks about it. Then I talk about moments that I've enjoyed there. So now I had to add a new one. So I'm hoping that will be up sometime in the next couple days. My article about my life at Coins, Cards, and Comics, because it's my life. I switched my hold slot to Heroes Headquarters, and the guys there are really nice. They really are. But what I loved about Coins Cards, whether it's Brandon now, I mean, Brandon, it took him like a couple weeks, but he realized that I'm a cool person. But like, Andrew, if there was any time I wanted like Spider-Man or Harley Quinn stuff, he would just like throw it in my hold slot. Or if the Green Goblin, showed up in anything, if there's a variant cover or anything, you just put it in my hold slot. So the comic Harley Quinn is ended last week. And so they have a new one by, I don't know if you've read the White Knight comic yet, Brad. It's pretty cool. But it's like Batman White Knight where the Joker is like becomes good.
I thought that was a 3-issue miniseries.
It's like 6 issues, and then they did The Curse of the White Knight.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. And
the only reason I started getting that one is because there's a really awesome cover with Batgirl on it. I was like, oh, I'll read this one. And then since it was like issue 4, I had no idea what was going on. So I went back and read the other ones. But it's a cool story. And so there's a Harley Quinn like series coming out from it. And so I put Harley Quinn down on my like poll slot at Heroes Headquarters. And I said, hey, I put Harley Quinn down. Does that mean I just get Harley Quinn comics if they come out? And the guy said, nope. I go, so I literally have to come down here every time and tell you. He says, no, just tell us you want Harley Quinn stuff and we'll put it in your hold slot. I said, okay, thanks. So, I don't know. It just, go ahead. Sorry, Brad.
So they're canceling the existing Harley Quinn book and releasing a different series?
The White Knight stuff doesn't take place, I don't think, in normal continuity.
And that's the one that's currently existing?
No, so that one doesn't come out till October. So the one that currently is in like DC proper, I don't know what you want to call it, is canceled.
Okay.
So there is no Harley Quinn comic.
So they're just doing like Elseworlds one-offs?
Yeah, stuff like that. But I mean, I'm sure it's going to come back. I think it's really weird that.
Well, she's in the main Batman one right now with the Joker one.
Oh yeah,
right? So that's probably yeah.
Yeah, got that one. That's all right. I feel like they're trying to like force feed me Punchline, and I really don't know yet.
I haven't been reading any of it, so.
I mean, I guess she's interesting. Whatever. Yeah. I like Harley Quinn.
I'm just struggling to get books, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's interesting because Mile High Comics is such a powerful buyer in the comics world, and they're not putting out new books hardly anything. Like I was there because they're doing a 50% off sale, so I was there a couple days ago, and I got the 3 Jokers, which you should totally read if you haven't read it yet. And I got the cover I wanted. I didn't even ask for it, but it's the one where Joker's holding up the fish, and it's the smiley fish one. But I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll pick up a different cover too, because I like the Red Hood one. He's like pulling off the Red Hood, and there's acid on him. And I went to Mile High. They didn't put any out. They only ordered as much as they needed. And
they're just ordering for their hold slots. So,
but there's some that are popping up. Like they had the new Catwoman. It's weird. But I think he's doing it to be vindictive because he was pissed that DC left Diamond. But, you know, I've been talking to the smaller comic shops, and they said it's been way easier to order. So, I don't know. All my comics are getting canceled. Batgirl, Harley Quinn.
good for my wallet. Like,
Yeah.
only having to pick up an ongoing single issue. Like Turtles has like 3 covers every time it comes out, so that's kind of expensive.
Yeah,
But
it's too. I also got to talk to the guys at Heroes headquarters. So, you know, some people like the variant covers. It's cool. And they gave me, so the new Spider-Man came out, and they gave me the variant cover, which is drawn by Mark Bagley, who's drew Spider-Man for 20 years. I mean, it looks awesome. But at the same time, I also still want the normal cover, too. But they sold out of them. So I go, ugh. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, next month is going to be brutal. The Green Goblin comes back for the second Spider-Man comic in the month. And it's like a $7 comic. And he's on, I think, 4 variants. We'll see if I get them all. I put on my hold slice at anything with Green Goblin. So we'll see.
Quick question: Where did he go? Because I'm genuinely asking. Like,
where did the Green Goblin go?
Yeah, like where did he go for him to come back?
He really didn't go. Well,
he's dead, right?
No, he bonded with the Carnage symbiote, and he's separated from it, and then Spider-Man like threw him in. The Marvel's version of Arkham is called Ravencroft, and so he was in there, and then he kind of went crazy, and then there's
again more crazy.
Yeah. Well, like crazy where he's still like infected with like Carnage or something. There's a new villain called Kindred who I really hope it's going this way. So about 15 years ago, they did a whole relaunch of Spider-Man where Mephisto, the Marvel's devil, snapped his fingers and made Mary Jane and Peter Parker's marriage never happen.
One more day.
Yeah, one more day. It's infamous. And then they also brought back Harry Osborn. But I have a feeling, so this Kindred is this demon that controls bugs. And so he put a bug in Norman Osborn, and it cured him of whatever the Carnage did to him. And so now he's just Norman and the Green Goblin again. But I think Kindred, I'm hoping, is Harry Osborn, so that Harry Osborn never really was like resurrected as Harry Osborn. He was resurrected as a demon, because he also calls Spider-Man Pete. He doesn't call him Peter, which is what Harry Osborn did. And he seems to know who Spider-Man is. I mean, a lot about Spider-Man. So I really hope they do that, because I just want them to like piss all over that like little bit they did. That's my goal anyways.
Okay.
We'll see.
That's good to get a little catch up in there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Pretty cool comics podcast we have here.
Yeah, you know, I'm just going to segue right away. I know this would be in news, but this week had really shocking development. Chadwick Boseman passed away, and it was shocking because I don't think he ever announced that he was sick. Nope. He just went about doing the movies, worked his ass off. And so he passed away, was it Thursday? Friday from stage 4 colon cancer. Yeah. And I was talking to Zach that night. I was shocked. I happened to be on Twitter when it popped up.
Yeah. I was on the phone and I saw that you guys posted it on the page. And I was like, holy shit. I had to stop the conversation I was having to be like, dude, Chadwick Boseman died.
I know. I didn't believe it at first, because, you know, when you see stuff on Twitter right away, and you're like, this is bullshit. And so then I went to the Hollywood Reporter, and the Hollywood Reporter didn't even have it up. And so I had to go to Variety, and Variety only had like the little blurb that he passed away.
Right.
So it was one of those things where you look at it, you go, that can't be right. And for some reason, like, it kind of crushed me, more so than any recent other celebrity. I don't know if it's because not only Black Panther, but, you know, he was amazing in 42.
Mm-hmm.
He just seemed like a genuinely like decent dude, and and then you read all the tributes about him and everyone what they're saying, and I don't know, it's really heartbreaking.
I think it's because like someone like Stan Lee dies, and he's led his life, and he's had an impact on the world, and there wasn't much more he was going to do. Whereas Chadwick Boseman was like, he was a new symbol of hope for a lot of people, and now that has quickly been extinguished, and it's just like much more crushing.
Yeah, and there's a big thing going on. They shouldn't recast Black Panther. I don't think they should either. Right. I think they could make his sister Shuri Black Panther.
Yep.
Or in the comics, Storm became Black Panther for a little bit. So I don't think you need. Would never recast T'Challa. That's his thing. I don't know. It's just like if 2020 could get any shittier, you know what I mean? Like we lost a couple dudes that like mean so much, like Carl Reiner, and then Chadwick. But you're right. Maybe Carl Reiner lived to be 95, so you go
98.
98, sorry, 98. And you go, oh, but Chadwick Boseman was 43.
Yeah, I was telling you over text though. It's amazing how much he gave to us as a culture and as a world, while battling a very hard battle and not whining about it.
No, I mean, you didn't even know. Nope. I mean, I think when did he film The Five Bloods? I mean, he had been right in the middle of it.
He was Well, he was probably in the middle, but I think he was filming that around late 2018, early 2019, because Spike was on that film for a little while because it's out in the jungle.
Yeah.
He, I was wondering how he got super thin, super fast for The Five Bloods, because he's not Black Panther built in that movie.
Yeah.
But he's an actor, so I worked under the Christian Bale assumption that was, and for all I know, I guess this is something I found interesting. I was reading online. There were people apparently giving him shit for looking scraggly earlier in the year. I had no idea that this was even a thing. Yeah. And then somebody pointed out, like, do you now realize what you were making fun of? I'm like, where was this from?
They should be ashamed, yeah.
Yeah, that's
wow.
That's
do you think people online would actually be ashamed of anything they do?
No, of course not. No, it's the fucking internet, Ryan. But
yeah, it's yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say. So, do you think Marvel didn't rush out a Black Panther 2? So, do you think they've known this whole time?
They might have.
I mean, they'd have to, right? Because like if say
legally and insurance wise, they'd have to know.
Right. Yeah.
But I think he's also protected by HIPAA. I don't think he has to reveal it if he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
You have to imagine at least somebody knew. Somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised. He seems like a pretty stand-up dude, and he probably said, "Hey guys, just so you know, I'm really sick."
Yeah.
And maybe that's why they didn't really announce Black Panther 2. You know what I mean? Because was it supposed to come out 2023?
Yeah.
But they're like, well, maybe, they're thinking, we hope you can beat this. We're praying that you can beat this. And then we'll give you a couple years. You can get, back into how you want to be. And unfortunately, it was never meant to be.
Because he knew in 2016. So, like,
yeah.
There's no guarantee, like, how fast the cancer would move. So, like,
yeah,
he'd have to let Marvel know, like, you might not be able to finish Infinity War like you planned.
Yeah.
So... Yeah,
man.
It makes more sense like why there wasn't. It seems like they would make a Black Panther 2
really quick.
Yeah. So that kind of explains. So like Marvel had to know.
Yeah, I mean it's the most successful film, even though Infinity War made more money and Endgame did. But I think Black Panther, when I say only costs $180 million, and then it made 1.6 billion or something. So it's the most profitable movie they've made.
Yeah. And it's the most successful on a cultural level right now.
And critically, too.
Yeah. And shoot, it's the only Marvel movie that has a Best Picture nomination under its belt. I know that
rightfully so.
Yeah. And I don't know, and, awards meaning whatever, but, like, to have the life that he did, because, like, I think we're all pretty much on the same page. Probably the first time we saw him was in 42, if in anything else, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess the first time I noticed him, because
Okay.
he's amazing in that movie.
Yeah, he is, and he holds himself up against Harrison Ford, which is never an easy job. But so that's 2012. So from 2012 to 2020, think about how many roles he played that exuded so much power and so much command over the screen. I have never seen that in my lifetime. That span, and then have it cut short like that. There's Jackie Robinson, the Marshall movie, the Thurgood Marshall movie he's in is amazing. The only one of his I haven't seen is Get On Up, which Ryan, I found it on HBO Max, so I'm going to be watching it this week.
Have you seen Gods of Egypt?
No.
I'll let you borrow it. I have the Steelbook because the Steelbook's awesome.
Okay.
I bought that blind because the Steelbook was cool.
It's Alex Proyas, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not that I really want my $24.99 back. I could be worse.
I could draw you $24 bills on paper and just pretend we could just give this that's a sign of like, look, Gods of Egypt needs to go. But no, and then you get him into Black Panther starting with Civil War. Like, if you get that diagnosis in 2016 right after you are right in one of the biggest movies of the year, which is Civil War, and you still say like, I'm just gonna push, I'm gonna still do this. Like, he gave a great gift with that performance in Black Panther, and then adding to it with Infinity War and Endgame. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a great thing to give to the world while you're suffering. Like, that it blew my mind away. I think that's why it hit me as hard as it did, is because that is such a, especially now, the movie Black Panther means a lot to a lot of people. And the fact that he gave that kind of gift before leaving us is absolutely astounding. I mean, I rewatched the movie this week, so obviously I'll be blathering on about it in what we've been watching. And I will point out that his role in Da 5 Bloods is also a similar impact, not just because of what he does, but also some of the emotion he exudes near the final moments of that movie with Delroy Lindo. If you haven't seen that movie, that's his ultimate role. So you want to check that out now, available. And then his final film
Your
is
connection's getting really
Ma
bad.
Rainey. Can you hear me?
Your connection's getting bad, Zach.
I mean, we can hear you. It sounds bad.
All right. But can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. But his last movie is a Netflix movie called, I'm trying to remember the title, Ma Rainey. But they were going to preview screening of it, and they've delayed it now. So
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yeah, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. That's right. But so that will be his final role. If you're looking for the one before it, it would be Da 5 Blood. If you've got Disney Plus, you've got Civil War, Black Panther, Infinity War, Endgame. You've got a great way to honor a great man, great performer.
Yep. So that's brutal. Anyways, Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
And thanks for giving us, the last, he was great. I don't know how else to say it.
Thanks for giving us great eight years of hope when there has been virtually none.
Yeah. So seek out Black Panther if you haven't seen it. I don't know where you've been, but
It's actually doing classic screenings at Regal, so you can actually go see it in the theater for like $5 if you want.
Oh,
So check that out.
It sounds like ABC's doing an uninterrupted screening of it tonight, or has already done it. So, but needless to say, there's going to be, and I agree. You shouldn't recast T'Challa by any stretch. Shuri would be a great choice.
Did we tell people what we saw this week?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah. We also go. We'll miss you, Mr. Bozeman.
Thank you,
we also go around town with Brad. Brad and I were actually supposed to go around town today and see Spider-Man double bill, which would have been awesome. But sometimes real life gets in the way and it sucks. But anyways, Brad is here to tell us about what's happening around town next week.
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
Not all is lost, Ryan. You can still go see a Spider-Man double feature at the 88 Drive-In up through Thursday. So,
Oh, cool.
if you have any free time, I doubt you do, but
I do not.
Well,
yeah.
you have to get those photos of Spider-Man into J. Jonah Jameson's office, or he'll be pissed.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cloudy with a Chance Meatballs precedes Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home at the 88 Drive-In. The Denver Mart Drive-In is doing Grease and Dirty Dancing again because they're closing out their season this weekend.
That'll be fun, though.
So that was, I guess, their biggest seller. So,
Well, the drive-ins seem like they're doing pretty well. I was reading an article on Variety, and it was 67% of Unhinged box office last week was from the drive-in. So, right on.
I mean, Empire Strikes Back was the number one movie in America because it played at drive-ins again.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Jurassic Park 2 also was number one for a week.
What was Spaceballs ranking when it showed at the drive-in?
Not high enough.
Damn it.
Yeah, I wonder how you calculate that, because when you buy a ticket to the drive-in for two movies, you're only paying for one ticket.
It has to be some sort
split
of
in half.
Yeah, split in half. Or if it's a first-run movie like Unhinged, it might get more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or they have all the titles in a big roller ball, and they play lotto with it to see who gets out number one that week.
Speaking of the end of the season, I can't believe it's September already, and
I know.
drive-ins are wrapping things up. Like I said, the 88 drive-in's still going, but oddly enough, the Elvis Cinemas has converted their Littleton location into a drive-in.
The one on Bowles?
The one on Bowles.
All right.
The front of their building is so flat that they threw a screen in front of it.
All right.
And they have a huge parking lot. So, I drove by and they were playing a movie, right, for everyone to see as you drive by.
Nice.
And yeah, I guess they'll probably do it year round, probably, until they can get back indoors. So there's another drive-in option. Holiday Twin is doing Despicable Me 3 and the New Mutants on one screen, and Bill and Ted and Unhinged on the other. And then I didn't report on it, but I don't know how long they're going to do it, but Film on the Rocks set up a drive-in at Red Rocks.
It's expensive.
Yeah, they kind of do a different movie sort of every day or every other day. But yeah, it's $60 per car. So if you go by yourself, it's $60. If you go with 5 or 6 friends, you're only paying $10.
I guess you get popcorn and candy and drinks, though.
Yeah, you get some snacks with it, and they partner with the Chick-fil-A, so you could order some Chick-fil-A, but
That's expensive.
it's expensive, thing. So, but if you want to visit Red Rocks, and
I mean, it looks cool. The screen's huge.
yeah, I mean, I haven't done it. I probably won't. But is it as big as this one on the stage? Probably not.
It's really big. I don't know how big, but I was driving on Morrison the other day, and I could see it from the road.
Oh, that's big. All right. I don't know. Maybe I will check out. We have 6 friends that want to go to the drive-in.
If that can, well, my Forerunner does have a third row seat.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. Unless you have a truck, more than 2 people doesn't really work.
Yeah.
My dad used to say when they tried to sneak others in, they put them in the trunk. So you put your friends in the trunk, and then you drive them in, and then they would get out. So
yeah,
I'll sit in the trunk, guys.
Yeah, I haven't brought chairs. I don't usually sit outside the drive-in because mosquitoes. So I usually just stay inside. But yeah, you can't really watch a movie from inside your car comfortably with more than 2 people.
And at Red Rocks, I was reading they don't let you out of the car.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, at Holiday Twin and 88, you can put chairs in front of your car. You can't mingle and walk around and stuff. So yeah, that's what's going on. Oh, one piece of good news. So I visited the Mayan, which recently reopened, and on my way out of the movie, I ran into the manager, and she revealed that the Esquire is in fact reopening at some point.
No, wow.
Ooh.
That the rumors of their demise are false. But
Exaggerated.
huh?
Greatly exaggerated.
Greatly exaggerated? Yeah, whatever. But first, they're going to reopen the landmark at Greenwood Village first. So the Esquire is still a little ways off.
I really don't care if they reopen the one near my house. I'd rather have the Esquire open first.
Yeah, I need those midnights.
Yeah.
And she's the manager of the Esquire, not the Mayan, so she's excited to get back to it. So
That's good.
Nice.
So yeah, that's some good news. Finally,
Cool.
Something.
Let's just roll into if there's any other movie news this week.
It's real news.
So I wasn't on the show last week, so really quickly, did you guys cover the fact that Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel just replaced its director 1 week into shooting?
No.
Oh, was that? Because I didn't know if I got that to you guys before you recorded, but
I think we recorded before.
Yeah,
Okay.
we spent our time talking about the DC fandom, but also forgetting to talk about Justice League.
Because the Batman trailer was too cool.
It's okay. I can describe the Justice League trailer for you. Hallelujah. So yeah, Ryan and Andy Tohill, who were the directors signed on for this Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake that's being headed by Fede Alvarez, were canned 1 week into production as they were shooting in Bulgaria due to creative differences. And it looks like they will be replaced by David Blue Garcia. He's an Emmy-winning Texas-based filmmaker who made a horror comedy called Bloodfest. So yeah, I just find it interesting. Like I haven't heard many stories as of late of a director being canned like 1 week into filming, or at least having it.
It had have been terrible like footage, and that's what I read. I don't know if it's Variety or Bloody Disgusting said that the people, the studio, were not impressed.
Wow, that's it's a tough break for those guys.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but Ryan and I were talking about it. At the end of the day, it's just like, why don't they just re-release Texas Chainsaw Massacre '74 in a drive-in and scare the shit out of people that way?
Totally.
Be a way better idea. And move on to some other horror news. Hey, guess what, guys? Blumhouse is going to reboot The Thing, as we discussed earlier this year, but this time they're going to be doing it with John Carpenter involved. When asked why John Carpenter was getting involved, he said he needed more video games and more basketballs to hang out with his son and his friend while they make more music. So,
Nice.
This says that Blumhouse Productions and John Carpenter are developing a reboot for The Thing. They said this during a panel for the Fantasia Film Festival, early stages. But it's cool that Carpenter's coming back on and going like, look, if you're gonna redo my shit, just get me on this time. I've seen way too many instances where it's not working. So, although I'll make an argument for the Zombieverse, but anywho, looks like Amy Poehler is going to direct a documentary about Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. So that sounds pretty cool. I hope it's like 7 hours and features the entire origin of Fred Mertz. That's what I want. So, and then I think the big one that we've been kind of talking about on and off regarding Mulan, Ryan kind of pointed me out to this earlier in the week, but it seems like there is a rumor or like whisperings that Disney Plus subscribers will get it without a premium price in December.
Yeah.
So then that means you don't have to pay that dumb thing that they're asking for their streaming service.
What I always say, and I was talking to Corinne about this because Corinne wants to get together and do a watch party with it, which, okay. But if you ever cancel Disney Plus, then the $30 you spent won't matter because you won't have it because you have to watch it through Disney Plus through their premium access. And I know this sounds counter, like what we shouldn't be saying, but if you love movies, you love going to them, don't buy this movie on digital. Because if you're willing to shell out $30 and enough people do it, Disney's going to start strongly considering doing this for a lot of their movies.
Right. And, full disclosure for our movie this week, I'm not innocent of it because I did the PPV for, or the on-demand for Bill and Ted this week. But I'm not. I find it confusing how Disney's doing this for a service that's all they provide. Like, I did mine through Amazon. At least I know I'm going to keep Amazon around for that free shipping. But Disney Plus doing it seems really strange. So I don't know.
Yep. Well, it's because they can. It's their platform.
Yeah. It just seems weird. I don't know. Anyway, if you want to wait to watch Mulan on December 4th, it's sounding like, then you might just want to just wait and make it your Christmas movie or something. And then this is the last piece of news I found was funny. Kind of relates to our movie of the week. Steven Soderbergh, who is one of the executive producers of Bill and Ted Face the Music, apparently, in addition to making sure that movie got out, he's been re-editing 3 of his films in quarantine. These include Schizopolis, Full Frontal, and the movie Kafka. These are movies that he owns more of the rights to. If you haven't seen Full Frontal, it's fine. Schizopolis is very weird. Kafka is interesting. I want to see what else he does to mess with Kafka. Now I want to see, will he re-edit other films like Out of Sight, Ocean? Will he re-edit Ocean's 12 to something that people will bash less? Because I like that movie, but people seem to hate it. And then that's news.
Speaking of directors re-editing their movies, I just read that Sylvester Stallone is taking the robot out of Rocky IV.
Are you? Please tell me that's a joke.
I hope so, but it was, I don't know. He was on Twitter a lot.
We just didn't have the technology to not put the robot in there. What the hell?
That's like, that movie's so short to begin with. I don't know why you would take more stuff out.
Just put more montages of me doing shit in the woods. Okay, yeah. And then, nothing else unless anybody has any breaking news that I haven't been made unaware of.
Nope, I think that's it.
Sweet.
Movies come out on Blu-ray and Ultra HD. This is what's coming out this week.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Well, Ryan, it looks like you can get the Goonies on 4K finally. They gotta be. Hey, the Goonies are what's good enough is good enough for me. It's good enough for me. Hi. But yeah, there's a steelbook from Best Buy that looks awesome. It's got the logo for the logo Never Say Die along with the skull and cross swords, and then there's looks like a treasure map edition that is going to be for, doesn't say which one, but it's one of the gift sets that they're doing. But yeah, you get a treasure map in there and some buttons and stuff. And then also Warner Brothers is also putting out Beetlejuice in 4K.
I was just a heads up to our listeners. If you're thinking about getting them because you're hoping for new special features, they're not on there. I just read the reviews of them on Blu-ray.com, and it's the old Blu-rays with no new special features.
That sucks. I do like this steelbook for Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Too bad the movie sucks.
I need to rewatch the film because it's the last time I rewatched it was for '88 Filmsplosion. And I remember not putting it on my list because I was like, okay, this is fine. This is not what I remember it being. A 4K that I will definitely be picking up is Sherlock Holmes and Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows in 4K. I don't really love these covers, but I also don't care because I want those movies in 4K.
Yep. You need to definitely get a high definition Ultra HD look at Robert Downey Jr.
and Jude Law. You want those both in HD.
I bet those movies look pretty great because the scenes where, Holmes is fighting that dude and he's figuring out the moves and they do that high frame rate and stuff probably looks pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine so. And they still shot those ones on film, so they're still going to have that nice little filmic look to them. And then moving on, though, to other titles, the Jon Stewart movie Irresistible is getting a Blu-ray release. Did anybody see it?
No, I do. It kind of went under the radar because it came out, I think, right at the height of coronavirus.
Yeah, I wanted to see it. Got Steve Carell and Rose Byrne in there, and it's directed by Mr. Stewart. So if you want to check it out, you're more than welcome to. And then looks like like there's a thing called Terrified, which is a Shuddered original. Looks like a guy who's already been dead, but now he's split in half. Is on the cover.
That's terrifying.
Hey, you know what? Is it Terrifier though?
No.
No.
I almost made that instead of Day of the Dead. I almost picked that one for a movie to watch for the week, just to make Corinne watch a chick get sawed in half from her hoo-ha all the way down.
That was the weirdest text to receive in the middle of the night from you. It was like, I'm thinking of picking Terrifier. And I'm like, well, we know that us three have already seen it. So I know what you're doing. Like,
oh yeah, I was just gonna be an asshole, is really at the end of the day.
I would have actually, did you see the teaser for Terrifier 2?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks fun. I'm glad they were able to get that thing made before everything shut down.
Yeah.
And then the AGFA is putting out a movie called Limbo. It's a movie from 1999.
That's just low.
But there's no synopsis for Limbo, so you'll have to buy Limbo to check it out. And support AGFA. They're a good company that does stuff with the Draft House every so often. And then looks like we are getting a Kino Lorber release of Death on the Nile from 1978. Get you ready for that Kenneth Branagh Death on the Nile, which we got a trailer for not too long ago.
Yeah.
This version features of Betty Davis.
I think we lost you, Zach. Are you there?
Yep, he's gone.
Go ahead and Death on the Nile. Ryan, this is the week. This is the week to figure out once and for all, thanks to Vinegar Syndrome, what is the 11th commandment? I don't think we'll get an answer for it, but you can
Is
get
Mel
the
Brooks
11th
in it? That's all I
from
care
Vinegar.
about.
He's not. He's not going to drop a tablet on accident.
Well, then I don't. Then I don't care.
He's not going to be a stand-up philosopher in Rome, and he's not going to present Hitler on ice. It's just not a funny affair, Ryan. I'm telling you.
I actually think my favorite joke from History of the World is when he says, "How can they say I'm not a king of the people?" Pull, and he shoots people up and shoots them. He like launches them like he's. Yeah, that's my favorite joke.
People, fire! There's, oh god. Not it's in the part 2 version where he's just like after Hitler on ice, he goes Jews in space, and it shows the Jewish spaceship.
Yep.
Oh god, it's a weird thing when that movie starts off being narrated by Orson Welles, and then they make fun of fucking 2001 by having all the apes beat off.
Yep.
Oh god, Mel Brooks is a treasure. Yeah, and then other than that, the only other thing is Kino Lorber putting out a John Cleese movie called Clockwise from 1986, which I have not seen. But I would love
So, Zach, you broke up, and it sounded like you said clockwise. What's the name of the movie?
It's called Clockwise. I was trying to put my words together. It didn't break up. I said cock. Don't worry about it. But yeah, and that's news. Or that's Blu-rays. Sorry.
Awesome. We watch films throughout the week in a segment we call What We've Been Watching.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
So I am starting a new watch series. I know I'm doing like 18 articles right now, but it helps keep me busy and not spend more money. So I'm not gonna tell people what it is, but one of the nerds is going to be like, "I can't believe you're doing this." The first article will drop soon.
Now you got me worried.
No, it's not pornography or anything.
Oh, I was hoping it was for it.
Ryan, you're not allowed.
So what I was going to do was I was going to do pornography, and the rating system is like how hard your erection is. So if it's a bad porno, it would just be like a little shriveled up limp wiener. And then the hotter it is, the more erect. So if you're totally like rock hard, then it's a super hot porno.
Why are you doing articles? It should be like one of those vlog series, and we can make an animated penis.
And then if it's the best, and a little jizz comes out of the tip. Have we lost any listeners yet?
All of them. That was it. You lost James's mom.
I give it 5 squirts.
No, that's not really what's happening.
Going to hell.
But you will soon see my latest like review series.
It's gonna upset me, isn't it? I know it.
No, so I'm literally going to drop probably 5 articles in the next 2 or 3 days.
Yikes! I'm glad I got my releases out of the way already.
You guys can put content on there too, like write articles and shit.
Who do you think you are? DC Comics
Yeah.
or DC Studios?
You know, Ryan, I will write some articles after I was done releasing some other stuff that I'll talk about in my segment.
Cool. Brad, what'd you watch this week?
Quite a bit of stuff. So I took a trip to the drive-in, and I saw Zookeeper, Grown Ups, and Talladega Nights.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights is great.
Yeah, that's still holds up. It's still pretty funny.
I never thought Grown Ups was like that harmful. It like exists.
It's
I laughed a couple times.
I've never seen Zookeeper or Grown Ups before, so Zookeeper was pretty much what I imagined, except I didn't realize the whole movie really revolved around Kevin James like trying to, win this girl's heart, and realizing that she is not good for him, and the animals help him do that. And
with Adam Sandler as a monkey.
Yeah, and he sounds funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. Like like Nick Nolte plays the gorilla, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the gorilla story, I was like, that's really like the best part of the movie is, this abused gorilla, that he, who helps him, but he doesn't quite help back, and then realizes that he should help him more. But yeah, the whole like trying to win this girl's heart thing is like, this is the movie? This is the plot of Zookeeper? Like, it has nothing to do with like animal conservation or, there's not like a billionaire trying to buy out the zoo and bulldoze it or anything. It's he has to like learn some animal instincts, which don't help him at all. Like, their advice is terrible. And
Brad, this movie was playing when I worked in movie theaters, and I only saw like sections of it when I do theater checks. Isn't it because they're trying to keep him as the zookeeper and stop him from improving his life?
Yeah, like they want him, like he's a good zookeeper, so they want him to like keep his job, and he wants to.
Okay.
He just wants to hook up with I forget who it is, Leslie Bibb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that movie's 2011. Like, that seems so much more recent. Like, I know there's a sequel, but
wait, there's a sequel? Oh, that's right, there is a sequel.
Yeah, which I haven't seen either. And then Grown Ups, I hadn't seen either, but watching it, it felt like I was watching everyone's complaints for why they hate Ocean's 12. It just seems like such a hangout movie with your friends. Like, it's just
it really is
one big inside joke. And so I'm just like, the whole time I'm just going like, is there a plot to this movie? Like, what's the arc of any of these characters? Like, what are we trying to?
Is that so? Well, I like Adam Sandler. Is that the one where they fight the frat guys, or is that Grown Ups too?
That might be two, because this movie is just them hanging out at like a cabin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, it's a summer.
And this is the one where Adam Sandler gets pissed on by a deer, right? Or is that Jack and Jill?
No, that's the second one. That's the second Grown Up.
Okay.
But the first Grown Ups, the plot.
Whoopity-doo!
The whoopity-doo of that movie is that they're there to bury their high school basketball coach or something, attend his funeral. And then the ending is them facing off against other douche jocks.
When I get done with Kate Blanchett, I might do Adam Sandler.
Can you call the series Whoopity-Doo?
Probably.
I don't know how you spell Whoopity-Doo, but we can figure it out.
Yeah.
So they have to bury their coach, and Adam Sandler uses the trip as like an excuse to like his kids are becoming spoiled like Hollywood elite.
That's
kids,
right, because he's like a script writer or something, right?
Yeah, and he's like, I forget. He's like trying to get out of the game or something.
Yeah.
And he doesn't tell his wife and kids about it, and he uses the venturing into nature excuses to like get his kids out of the house. So yeah, the whole time it just really feels like you're just kind of sitting in on their inside jokes.
I never thought it was that bad either. I know everyone like critics hate it. I didn't think it was like that bad.
It's not atrocious. It's an Adam Sandler movie that is fun.
Yeah.
It's not. Have I rewatched it since I saw it in the theaters? No, but I had fun when I walked out.
like you just have to really like those guys because
Yeah.
I didn't think the jokes were like, oh, these are so funny, like Talladega Nights or anything. And there's just like a lot of just meandering, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of improv. You know, that's just them. It's literally them goofing around, and it's fine.
Yeah. What I love about Talladega Nights is it's Will Ferrell at like his goofiest. That's why I love Anchorman and stuff, because there's parts where it's just really stupid, but it's really funny. And Talladega Nights, I love when he loses a race and Cal Norton moves in with his wife, and he's like, "That was like 5 minutes ago," and his wife's like, "I'm with the winner now." Shit!
I should have.
Why am I still talking to you?
I should have gone with you to that, Brad, because I would love to see my favorite scene in that movie on a big drive-in screen is them trying to pry out a knife that Ricky Bobby stabbed in his leg with another knife.
Use this other knife, yeah. Don't you put that evil on me, Bobby.
I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey, Chip.
But like, yeah, it's like that's better than Grumps because like Ricky Bobby actually has an arc, and they're actually making a point to make fun of NASCAR and like the Southern, you know, the fandom,
the America rah rah kind of crowd of the early 2000s. Yeah, McKay's been saying stuff for years, like. And then he made Vice.
Yeah, the part is like, he has to drive with the cougar in the car. He's like, keeps dragging his feet on starting to do it. It's like, oh God. Yeah, and then also Rocky V was playing at the theater, which is interesting. Like they had all 5 of them, but I Rocky V is so hated. I'm surprised they put it in theaters at all. So.
Was there other people in your theater?
Nope. I got to watch it all by myself. It was
really?
Great. Yep.
Wow. Even like, every theater. When I saw Bill and Ted today, it was pretty full. I mean, as much as it could be. I don't know what the capacity at Alamo is doing, but my whole row, like Kellen and I were on the end, and then it had the 2 seats, and then there was a person there. Then it had the 2 seats, and there was persons all the way up. So,
my Face the Music was kind of like that too, yeah. But yeah, I did. I Rocky V, I keep in high regard compared to other people, but I did start like nitpicking it as I was watching it, being like, "How does he know this already?" And this shot doesn't match up, like stuff like that. Then I rewatched for the first time since I was a kid, The Witches, because it's on Netflix.
Nice.
And I'm surprised that doesn't get like lumped into, because it's a Jim Henson production.
Yeah.
And it's often not included in like the Labyrinth and Dark Crystal like fandom.
I think the makeup in that is amazing.
I know,
it's Warner Brothers, so maybe that's why.
Oh,
no, I'm pretty sure Labyrinth and Dark Crystal are Warner Brothers as well.
Yeah, they're one of those too. Yeah. Definitely.
And the reason the reason I know that is because we have both of them, and they're in the Warner Brothers. We have the book editions of them.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, The Witches. I gave it 3 stars. Like a single extra star because the effects are so good.
Yeah.
Like the talking mice, they're like the puppeteering of that. Like occasionally they seem fake, but for the most part, like I thought that was like a real mouse talking to the camera. It looks so good. And then like the makeup effects on like they show Angelica Houston transforming.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one shot where she's like holding her fake face over her face.
Yeah.
And, this is before CGI. So at the very least, I think this is 89, 88. And so the closest thing you can use to like achieve this shot is the cam that Zemeckis had for Back to the Future 2 and Roger Rabbit, which I don't think they could be. I can't imagine they're using because that would be something fresh and like Disney probably owns at the time.
Yeah, or unless you'd like ask how. I mean, I'm sure Robert Zemeckis, if you called and asked, he might let you use it. I don't know.
And those are big budget movies, and this is like objectively the story is not that interesting, and there's not a ton of conflict. It's really this kid's parents die and he has to live with his grandma, and his grandma like has a heart attack, so she takes a vacation with him to this hotel, which is like the hotel in that, like it looks like the exact hotel from that Family Guy episode where they have like the murder mystery like at the hotel on the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
Like it looks like exactly like that hotel. So I think there might be some crossover inspiration there. But yeah, and there's just like a convention of witches, and they develop this serum that's going to turn all the kids in town into mice, and then the kid turns into a mouse and turns it against the witches. And like they really don't. He never really fails at doing that. Like he gets away with it right away. So the story's kind of, and then the resolution at the end, like there's actually a good witch that didn't get poisoned, and she comes back and just heals him and drives. It's kind of like it seems like a last minute rewrite, but the effects are the most impressive part.
It's my favorite Roald Dahl book. Growing up, I loved this book, and I loved James and the Giant Peach. Roald Dahl is my favorite author when I was a kid. I used to have all his books, and in the course of getting older and moving, I lost them. But when just before Kellen was born, they had this like sidewalk sale. All the houses in Stapleton or Central Park or whatever they call it now, and at one of the homes that we went to was one of an early hardcover of The Witches. So I bought it for like $2, and I look up and I see it right now. And so I loved the book when I was a kid. And I always thought Roald Dahl was really a great writer, and he told really whimsical things, and they had a hint of darkness to it.
He hated children.
Yeah. So I'd have to go back. I don't remember how the book ends because I haven't read it in 30 years, but
so what I just described is different from the actual.
No, so the story's pretty similar. Again, I can't remember. I do know that it deals with the kid and his grandma warns him about witches.
Yeah, I forgot. I think 10 minutes of the opening of the movie is his grandma talking to him about what to watch out for with witches, and she tells the story of this one girl that she knew that got imprisoned in a painting.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, there's a painting at the hotel that the witches like check on, and you'd think that's like foreshadowing that how they defeat the witches is going to maybe set them free, but that never happens in the movie. Like they never call back to paintings ever again in the movie after that point. So
yeah, you bring that up and I might read The Witches. I mean, Roald Dahl is really easy to read. I think it's only maybe 150 pages, and there's lots of pictures in it. So I could probably read that in a day.
Because that whole painting aspect of the story is actually like really scary and haunting. Like, can you imagine, Kellen getting imprisoned in a piece of artwork in your house, and like every time you look at the artwork, he's in a different place and like also aging at the same time.
I would be like Sam Neill in The Mouth of Madness. This is not reality. Because in The Mouth of Madness, the painting constantly changes in it as well.
Yep.
And then
need to get James to watch that movie.
And the last thing I watched was at the Mayan, and that was The Personal History of David Copperfield, which I never read Dickens's Copperfield. And the trailer, I thought this looked cool because it had like an air of fantastical whimsy to it, and it was directed by the director of The Death of Stalin last year. And I don't know, I was kind of bored throughout the whole thing. I couldn't quite follow like what the point of everything was. It seems like David Copperfield is just like,
that sucks because the trailer does sell it like a really quick moving kind of zany offbeat comedy.
Yeah, it has some really creative visuals, but as far as like what I was trying to follow, I couldn't quite latch on to. Like, is anyone else familiar with the story of David Copperfield? I wasn't until now.
I tried to read it with my grandfather, and I couldn't get through it. But
I think it's just like
I'd be blank going in.
He's kind of he's got a mind that's not in step with the rest of the world. It feels like there's this other movie I'm trying to remember that's very similar, but like maybe like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, where like he's a daydreamer, and like an aspiring writer, and he wants to be creative, but like the rest of the world is like keeping him down. As he goes through life, his parents die early, and then he has to go live with foster parents in England, and I think it was England. And he's like at a factory, like he's child labor at a factory, and then he like revolts, and then goes and lives with his real grandmother who has a estate, and then works his way up through society, and then gets brought back down through crushing financial times. And as he goes, like all the people he meets in his travels feed into what he's able to write about. And then by the end of the story, he's got a book that is supposedly like this whole journey is the interesting tale of his life. But I'm like, okay, cool. He met some like eccentric people. So yeah, this just seems like it's a movie of just like random silliness. And that's it. I wasn't quite sure what to get out of it.
You know what, Ryan? I've seen this before, but I need to watch it at some point. A David Copperfield with W.C. Fields by George Cukor.
Mm-hmm.
So I might want to check that one out before I watch this. But I like Iannucci a lot from Death of Stalin, and I still haven't watched Veep yet, but we'll do it soon.
Veep's one of the greatest shows ever.
That's what my dad tells me. My dad's better at television than I am.
Zach, what'd you watch this week?
I didn't watch that much, even though I wasn't on last week, so there's not a lot of backup. I rewatched The Untouchables.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. It's a wonderful film. It might be my number one film of the year it came out. You'll have to listen to that film's closure and watch James sweep it. But yeah, no, I really liked rewatching it through the lens of having done the Hitchcock series, because there's the joke that De Palma just rips off Hitchcock the entire time, and I think it's like a little bit too harsh of a criticism, but when you get to the end of that movie, it is very much a Hitchcock by the last like 10, 15 minutes from a visual scheme. But I really love rewatching Sean Connery do his thing, which, by the way, Ryan, if you're not a cop that walks down the street with a nightstick like that and doff your hat to people, then you're not like Sean Connery in The Untouchables. And then that's where the problem lies, is you need to be that cool.
Never will be.
You are pretty cool, because I heard Cary Grant gave you a really cool birthday card.
It's true.
But yeah, it did. It was pretty cool. I saw it. And I actually really love this. The scene in Untouchables that still fucking floors me is Robert De Niro with the baseball bat giving the speech about being on a baseball team right before he whacks the guy who fucking tripped up. It's just this beautifully elegant shot moving around that table and just like the tension is so fucking thick. But yeah, that was a good old time rewatching that. And then I rewatched The Irishman right after that, because why not? And then I went ahead and revisited The Treasure of the Sierra Madre with
movie.
Humphrey Bogart and Tim Holt and Walter Houston. Wonderful film. It strikes me every time I watch it, I always find something new in it. And I think for the first time in watching that movie, I really realized how great of an actor John Huston was from the beginning, because he's only in 2 scenes. But like we have an image of him as an actor for films like Chinatown and such. But he when he's giving the money to Bogart constantly, he has this just wonderful direct, like he's the only guy in a movie that I can see at this point who could talk down to Bogart and get away with it. Like, because he's really like browbeating the shit out of him for being a fucking like constant annoyance asking for money. And then it's Walter Houston's movie, the rest of the movie, along with Bogart. It's if you've never watched The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, guys, what's your fucking problem?
Hey.
And then
So I'll give you a problem.
Brad, this doesn't apply to you. We know you'd find it boring. But I mean, I don't actually. Maybe you'll have fun with it. I don't know. I see the middle fingers. Just because my camera's off doesn't mean yours is.
I wanted you to see him.
I know you did. And then I rewatched The Magnificent Ambersons, which is a Orson Welles film that got taken away from him after he went to South America to film stuff for the war effort, like Jaws. But it's still a good movie in spite of the fact that it's a butchered masterpiece. Like, it's absolutely butchered by a studio who took away a product. And part of it was also watching this documentary called It's All True, which is the restoration of the footage that Wells was shooting in South America for the Goodwill program during the war, when Wells got Ambersons taken away from him. So it's kind of interesting to watch those two side by side and kind of watch this tragedy happen behind the scenes while you're trying to watch a narrative take place. And then the second to last thing I rewatched was Black Panther. I'm still floored by that movie as I was when I first saw it. There's a line in that movie where Angela Bassett tells Lupita Nyong'o that she should take the flower and be the Black Panther. And I'm not opposed to that either. Yeah. So there's a couple options we've got here, guys. We can get Lupita Nyong'o. We can get Shuri. We can get Letitia Wright. We can get, you know what? Why don't we get M'Baku to do it? There are a lot of characters that they have there that they could give that mantle to that would be just as worthy. Winston Duke as M'Baku is still one of the greatest things cinema's ever given us. Don't talk, or I'll feed you to my children.
They should, if they do a Black Panther sequel, they should totally, when they visit the astral plane, they should show Chadwick Boseman in the constellations in the background.
That's a great idea. That's very, very great idea. And then there's and Michael B. Jordan's still wonderful in that. How we haven't given him some form of recognition around awards time yet is still a fucking crime on this earth. But I'll tell you, the moment that really hit me in the fucking gut at the end of the movie, it's when they're outside of the projects where his uncle was murdered by their father, and Shuri goes, good, they're tearing it down, good. And he goes, no, they're not. I bought that building, and that one, and that one, and that one over there. And then he talks about how it's going to be the Wakanda Outreach Center, and I just started losing my shit, and just started crying my eyes out. It's really a shame we lost him, because I really wanted him in Black Panther 2, Black Panther 3. I wanted him for a long time as that character and doing other things too. So it's Ryan, as much, I think you and I kind of had the same emotional effect when this happened, but I think for different reasons. I don't know, but because I like Marvel and comic books, but I'm not the same comic book guy as you are. But just watching it from a performer, he carries that movie. I know we talk a lot about Michael B. Jordan and the other actors, but he carries that movie like a fucking champ. It's such an amazing feat to watch. And then the very last thing that I watched was my breath take a sigh of relief as I finished the Shamley Silhouette. Finished releasing every single episode of this show thanks to Brad's ability to get it linked up to the site. So you guys are two of the guests. Ryan, you were on 3 times. Brad, you were on once, but you were uploading this thing like crazy. I want to thank you guys. Yeah, the best episode. Now, hold on. The square below me has 3 episodes, and one of them is my favorite to re-listen to. So,
which one is that?
It's the Huntley Haverstock one, which is where we discuss the World War II films. That is a discussion that I have wanted to have with somebody on a podcast for years.
Nice.
So yeah, but guys, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for encouraging a dumb dream.
Gay!
Ooh! And then also within this, also thank you to Adam Roach, who was our final guest. Does the Secret History of Hollywood, which just put out Cary, which is the first in a series that he's doing on Cary Grant. Ryan, I know you looked a little excited when I posted a link to it.
Yeah, I started listening to it. It's good.
Yeah, and his episode of Shamley is really fun. That episode will be coming to the regular feed along with the remaining 3 episodes fairly soon. And then I'll announce it here because this is where I tend to announce things now. The next series is. Hold on. Do we have the sitcom, the laugh track audience move down now to an awkward, like we get an awkward hug in, and then they go, "Oh," like. But no. So the next series, first of all, the show's going to now become a show called Yesteryear Ballyhoo Review, where we're going to talk about Golden Age Hollywood films. But there's going to be a main series within each, within the rest of the episodes that we can record on different topics. So, like Ryan, I'd like you to do Awful Truth on an episode.
Me?
Yes, you. And then I put the Cary Grant gif, Get Out.
That was my Cary Grant. It was pretty good.
It was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. We talked about George Clooney playing him, but I think you've got a shot.
Yeah.
But I will announce here, though, that the next main series, oh, God, Brad, you've got the buttons. You've got the buttons. What are you doing? Oh, he's doing it. Aw.
Hey, Brad, what the fuck is Shucky Ducky?
I don't know. I want to know that now.
Oh, the button?
Yeah. Play it.
Shucky Ducky.
It must be something from a movie.
Anyway, while Brad's trying to figure out what Shucky Ducky is, so we'll talk about Golden Age Hollywood films of various different varieties and gamuts. But the next main series is going to be the parallel lives and similarities of the filmographies of John Huston and Orson Welles. So we're going to be covering more than 60 films. So I'm going to be taking a while to plan it.
Sorry.
What?
I was playing sound effects.
Oh, that's okay.
They're terrible.
I didn't hear them.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't hear him either.
That's not cool.
In case a fart noise came out when I said those names, the next series will be on John Huston and Orson Welles. The key thing about them is that they had a friendship that lasted throughout their lives in Hollywood that culminates with the final film that they reconstructed 2 years ago, The Other Side of the Wind, where John Huston plays a lead role in the movie. So I'm going to be covering both their filmography. So I already have sent some titles to you, but like Brad, there's a Sylvester Stallone John Huston movie that you get to watch now. And then Ryan, obviously, I'm probably going to be having you on for Maltese Falcon or Treasure of the Sierra Madre, one of those two. So
Groovy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be the next series. But thank you guys for supporting it. I really appreciate it. And that's all I watched this week. Aww. I heard that one. Now do the shove it one. Shove it. Go to hell.
Eat my butt.
Eat my butt. Dingo and the baby. Ryan?
I actually didn't watch hardly anything. One of the coolest things I love about HBO Max is they put all the HBO documentaries on there because I think HBO makes really great documentaries. I watched one called Manhunt, the hunt for Osama bin Laden, and it dealt with CIA and analysts who are all women and helped connect the dots for Osama bin Laden. And one lady who was on the documentary was actually has been tracking him since 1993. And then, he helped with the bombing of the Trade Center, the USS Cole, the embassy in Africa, and then, of course, 9/11. But it was a really interesting documentary. And yeah, you should check it out. It's maybe 2 hours long.
Where is it on?
HBO Max. It's called Manhunt.
Okay.
So that's a good one. I also I'll talk about it when I finish it, but I started watching the Michelle McNamara "I'll Be Gone in the Dark" documentary.
Oh, snap!
And it's even more profound now because that dude admitted to doing it and a whole bunch of other murders and rapes.
You got 26 life sentences or something?
Yeah. And isn't it, when someone's a piece of shit is you can kill that many people and you make a deal because you don't want to die? You're just a total prick. But the story is really fascinating because because Michelle McNamara wrote a blog, a true crime blog, and then she did podcasts. And so she's also telling you this story with Patton Oswalt telling you the story and how she was obsessed with finding this guy and how she would use her research ability I don't know what the right word is, but how she'd use research to find all these other true crime stuff. She helped solve a kidnapping. It's in the first episode, and this one kid was kidnapped from a place in Missouri or Kansas, I can't remember. And she said, wow, that sounds a lot like this other kid who was kidnapped. So she started posting about it. And when the police went to look for the kid who was just kidnapped, they found a kid who's been missing for 4 years. And they were both kidnapped by the same guy he took him to the same house. It's really fascinating. So I'll talk about it more when it's done, but it's kind of eerie, but she is such a great storyteller that it's a really fascinating documentary. I guess it's more of a series. I think there's 6 or 7 episodes.
And it's based on the book that was released post her death, correct?
Yeah, so she wrote almost all the book, and then Patton Oswalt and one of her friends helped finish it. Mm-hmm. It's a really interesting and terrifying and good watch. I watched, and the only other thing I watched this week is The Omen, with starring Gregory Peck.
Damien!
It's it's funny. I watched that movie, and I remember watching it with my dad, and every time I'd watch it, my dad call him the crazy fucking Damien kid. He's like, there's that little fuck Damien. And it's really well done. Richard Donner is a really great director.
Oh yeah.
You watch it now and you forget how influential that film is. Mm-hmm. I never thought it was that scary. The scene with Gregory Peck and they're in the cemetery and the dogs are chasing them is really great.
Yep.
There's some shocking moments. Obviously, the purposeful murder of his infant or his newborn son so he could take Damien home is always a little thing. And the Scream Factory, I got the box set from Scream Factory because that box set is like $80. But 2 weeks ago on Amazon, it dropped to $29. So I bought the box set. And there's a great interview with the writer, and he's really funny in it. He said, yeah, I wrote this terrible fucking script, and I sent it to Warner Bros. Who wanted to make it, and they did. And he went to the screening, and he said, this movie's terrible. He said, it's not going to make any money. And the writer said, I didn't know anything about that. And Richard Donner called him. He said, hey, man, come to my house. And he said, and he went to the house, and Richard Donner said, hey, I hear you're telling people at the studio that this movie sucks. He said, yeah, I saw it. It's not that good. And Richard Donner said, well, yeah, it's not color corrected because the scene in the cemetery where the dogs attack him was like shot during the day. So it was really bright. So he saw an unfinished film that didn't have any music. So Donner says, hey, man, watch this movie that's finished. And then he said, after I watched, I said, we are going to make a lot of money. And he gave a lot of credit to Gregory Peck and Richard Donner for taking his shitty script and making it a good movie.
It's still a fun movie.
Yeah, it's fun. And that's all I watched this week.
Ryan, really quickly, the audience won't know this necessarily, but when you posted that picture of it, I'm still proud of this, that I wrote for you. When you bought it, did you say the phrase, it's all for you, Damien, as you click the confirm purchase button?
It's all for you, Damien.
Click. You've got to do the whole series now. Do they have the remake in that box set?
Yeah, so it has all 5 of them. It has the TV movie and the remake.
Ooh, wow, they get it. Well, it's Scream Factory. They get everything.
Yeah, so I'm so far behind. That's why I'm going to drop so many articles. I have a Scream Factory crypt of some movie. I have a Family Guy one coming out. I have my Coins, Cards, and Comic one. Yeah, I have a bunch of them.
Right on.
Yep.
Much literature from the world of Ryan Frost.
Yes. This week on Real Nerds, we went to the movies again. And, well, some of us did. And we saw Bill and Ted Face the Music. Brad, should people go see Bill and Ted Face the Music?
Yeah, I thought this movie was a lot of fun. I was kind of frustrated that like it wasn't a movie that could have been made with a bigger budget, even though the effects of the movie are actually really good for what their budget is. And it seems like there's two movies kind of fighting, trying to compete. It's a big nostalgia trip, but like overall, it's just fun. Like it's a movie that just kind of made me feel good watching it. So it's great to have right now.
Zach?
This right now is in contention for my favorite movie of the year. I had so much fun with it. Being a Bill and Ted fan that I am, I had expectations going in for just like a bare minimum that I wanted from the movie, because I wasn't dumb enough to expect to have it reach my heights of the first one. I was kind of hoping to like just make it as fun as Bogus Journey and we'll be fine. I think it ended up topping that expectation triple fold. Winter and Reeves are great in it. I think it's well directed. Billy and Theodora are adorable and wonderful, and I want more adventures with them. And there's a lot of moments in the film that give emotional payoff to a series about two goofy idiots who started a time travel adventure outside of a Circle K. It's similar to those reasons why I like a Clerks 2, where like if you can give me emotional payoff to goofy characters, like you've won my heart. And this movie made me feel optimistic more than anything else. You know, like there's an optimism in this movie, especially by the end, that I think is something I haven't felt in a while. So yeah, I would definitely go check it out.
I always love that we've evolved from when Zach and Corinne say if you should see this movie or not to like 2 or 3 minutes of them talking about it. But
I'm going to time it next time.
you should.
I'll review up front.
Yeah, you should see this movie. Zach said it, and Brad said it as well. It's kind of a movie that you need right now, where it's like sweet and like fun. And, because, we saw Unhinged last week and there's stupid characters and it's just like mean, but not in a fun way.
Just makes the world look like hopeless.
Yeah, this movie is really fun. Yeah, you should go see it. Here's a trailer for Bill and Ted Face the Music.
When your wives suggested couples therapy, do you think that this is what they had in mind?
Definitely. We're a couple of couples, right?
Bill, Ted, enough of the delusions. You didn't time travel, and you didn't go to heaven and hell. Here's a real idea for you. Be role models to your daughters. Get real jobs.
Bill, we've spent our whole life trying to unite the world, and I'm tired, dude.
Ted, we have a destiny to fulfill.
Whoa! Greetings, my excellent friends. We have a problem.
Step forward. A song created by Preston Logan, performed tonight, will save reality as we know it.
Oh. Dude, we better write that song now. Or why can't we just go to the future when we have written it?
And take it from ourselves.
Except, won't that be stealing?
Cheers! How is that stealing if we're stealing it from ourselves, dude?
Dude, our dads are totally in trouble. You should help them out.
No way! How's it going, Bill and Ted?
We're putting together a most extraordinary band.
Hey, you want to be in our band?
Oh, this is ja fantastisch.
We're gonna go talk to Death. Is he playing hopscotch by himself? Dude, he's cheating. Hey, Death.
Why, if it isn't the Wild Stallions.
Let's rock! Be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes.
Dina! Billy! Dad! How you doing?
Well, we're dead and we're in hell.
But how you doing?
We're good.
I still think the trailers for this movie are garbage.
They're not great. That second one's better than that first one. It's fine. It gave you the taste that you needed to go like, will this work? And then you watch and you go, oh, it works.
Well, when I watched the trailers, I was like, man, they don't really have the chemistry anymore, and it feels forced. But when you watch the movie, they're really good in it. And they really go right back into the character, and you realize how hard. I know they say dude and excellent a lot, but for them to constantly say their lines at the same time in the same cadence without missing a beat, and that it just seems 100% natural, is a really huge testament to them as actors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, the basic plot is they were supposed to unite the world. They didn't. And so now they have to write the greatest song in the world, kind of like Tribute from Tenacious D. They have to write the greatest song in the world to unite the universe and all reality. And that's a really funny running joke because they say it a lot, and they said, oh, that's new, because before they're just saving the world. And yeah, it's fun because they also really embraced how goofy of a concept it is. I love the couple's therapy scene where they're saying, we love you. They just wanted them to say, I love you.
They just keep rearranging the sentence to...
Yeah.
Bottom of my heart, Ted and I love you.
Yeah, it's like, Ted, you're doing it wrong. And he says the same thing. He just makes it a longer sentence.
Yeah.
The only thing I will slightly disagree with you is I didn't think the daughters were that interesting.
No.
And I thought Ted's daughter was kind of annoying. She was trying to play Keanu Reeves, and it seemed her movements didn't seem natural to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ryan. You're not going to take this away from me.
No, I kind of felt that way too. Like I didn't not like the daughters, but it was clear that they were basically doing a remake of the first movie.
Yeah.
On their own, and then meanwhile we've got this other movie with Bill and Ted and their adventure. So it felt like those two things were competing. I wish it was more like, actually, like it reminded me of Jay and Silent Bob reboot, where like I wish there was some kind of conflict between the daughters and Bill and Ted, because it's like you see the like early on that the daughters are going to be the solution emotionally to solving the movie, like that passing of the torch, but they're always removed from Bill and Ted for the whole movie, so there's never anything to play off of. And I feel like they would be great characters if they had a more integral role personally, because they're not like daughters who were abandoned because they spent all their time recording music or something. They actually like had a good upbringing, so there's no conflict between the fathers and daughters. So it's like, okay, well, there's no drama to the story. So it's really just it's more about Bill and Ted and their problems with their wives. Like their whole story is just trying to make sure their wives don't divorce them.
Yeah, but also too, I didn't understand why their old wives kept going everywhere and how they were going to ruin stuff, because they never really explained that part.
I cannot follow the time travel in this movie. Like I know it's not important, but it kept me like off balance, figuring like, okay, well if they can go do this over here, why can't you do this over here? And like, how do they have access to this? And how many people actually know how the time travel is real?
Yeah, I always think back to, the only movie that I really thought time travel was really well done was Edge of Tomorrow or Back to the Future. But like if you, I always think back to Austin Powers and The Spy Who Shagged Me, where he's trying to explain what happens if he goes back to time and he messes with the current timeline. One night he goes on this really long monologue and he goes, oh, look, I've gone cross-eyed. And he says, yes, don't worry about it, Austin. And Basil looks to the audience and says, and it's best if you don't worry about it either.
Which Rufus says, it's like, don't worry about any of this, just it'll all make sense in the end.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah, and I loved like evil Bill and Ted throughout it.
Yeah.
I thought they're really funny. Wait, why do you guys have English accents? 'Cause those guys are so dumb that they don't realize that they're being played.
Oh, and Dennis.
Oh yeah, Dennis is great.
Which at first I was like, oh okay, like a shitty like cosplay robot, and then when you figure out he has a personality, and I thought like they were setting up that he was going to be like someone they actually knew, that it got transformed into the robot, and then it just didn't go anywhere after that.
No, but it still works because he has some really funny lines, and like when he feels bad about killing everybody, like his Bill and Ted's daughters and all the historical figures.
I want you to know that I'm sorry.
My favorite part with the daughters is when they confronted death.
Mhm.
It was pretty great.
That's a beautiful moment. And then Kid Cudi's a station. It's a great way to get a station reference in without bringing in station. I like it.
Yeah.
I also think my favorite part of the movie is that they actually went through the trouble of making the song for the movie.
Mhm.
Like the song they actually, because that it seems like any other movie probably would have, like sidestepped it, like find a clever way of, like, yeah, we saved the world, but we actually didn't. It didn't require the song to get made, right?
Yeah.
And they did it. They actually wrote a song that like unites the world, and like I like that they stepped outside the traditional thinking of, like, they literally had to unite the world because the timeline had skewed all over the place. It wasn't just like bringing peace and love to humanity. It was like, yeah, the world's going to literally fracture unless the song gets written. So I thought that was a cool way to play with the wording of everything that's been prophesized. So
there's actually a great dramatic moment, like where they bring a lot of legacy to the Rufus characters. Obviously, Carlin's passed away, and I like that they named Rufus's daughter Kelly after Kelly Carlin. But the whole thing of like Rufus's wife, Kelly's mom, basically saying like not everybody read the prophecy as your father did, and her thought is like, what if Bill and Ted need to die to unite the world? So I was like, oh, that's cool. They're kind of throwing in these little curveballs into the philosophy and mythology of this, again, movie about time travel that starts outside of a Circle K. But by the time they get to the end, when they have the moment with their daughters where they obviously they admit that they're not the ones who are writing the song that'll save the world, and they talk about the reasons why they are more than equipped to do it because of like everything they've learned from loving their dads and loving music. Like there's something very beautiful about that torch pass that I think doesn't necessarily work in something like Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, whereas this one handles it beautifully.
Well, yeah, because we're not forced to like watch Harley Quinn Smith.
I don't think Harley Quinn Smith's the problem with that moment, but
I do. She's not an actress, and it's and if in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot it doesn't seem as natural, whereas in this it's a nice natural progression. It feels like of the film.
Yeah.
I was saying, John, actually meant Onward. Like, I wish this movie had that Onward moment where you followed the whole movie. Like, you think that, I forget the character's name in Onward, but he's trying to be able to see his dad one more time, and the fact that he sorry, I forgot Zach hasn't seen this movie yet. Anyway,
go ahead, spoil it. It's fine. If I haven't seen Onward yet, I'm an idiot.
You are,
yeah, because this movie great. But anyway, that reveal in that movie at the end I wish this movie had that same impact. Because like when Bill and Ted recognize like it's their daughters that are the ones that they've raised to do this. Like, I wish the movie had set that up better. Like, again, if they had some kind of conflict between the fathers and the daughters, I think it would have got there. But they were raised okay, and they were such music nerds that they were able to travel throughout history and grab everybody. And
there's something beautiful about that.
Yeah, there's no drama to it. They just they find them and they commit. Like, the hardest thing they have to do is convince Jimi Hendrix to join the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone else just comes along.
And that's even a fun moment too, because getting Louis Armstrong and Hendrix walking away saying basically whatever, and have him play his trumpet and it echo down the hallway and he comes back, I think is really fun.
Yeah. And then Jimi Hendrix having a little jam off with Mozart. Nice little fun little bit.
The other unsung hero is the director, because he directed Galaxy Quest.
He's a great choice for this movie because he can handle the heart and the funny really well. Obviously in Galaxy Quest, and he keeps it moving. Like this movie moved quickly. I never felt it was dragging its feet. I even like the dad who's I didn't know right away. I'm watching the beginning of it, but then when Ted is explaining to everybody who his brother's marrying is really fucking funny.
Yeah, Mitzi. Okay.
Yeah, so in a way, you're your own son.
I'm curious why they didn't get the original princesses and his brother, because they're all still active in Hollywood.
They changed them for the sequel too, so maybe they pulled this off the way they do with the Griswold kids in every vacation movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make sense. You could have them, but I mean they're fine. It's kind of weird. The princesses are always kind of like they're not really characters in these movies, which is kind of a shame. But I think they get way more to do in this movie than they've ever had to do in terms of being characters.
I haven't seen Bogus, so I didn't know.
They have involvement because they're members in the band, and part of them is like them wanting to propose to the princesses. But the main movie is obviously Bill and Ted's Adventures Through Hell and getting back. There's I liked having a tiny bit of George Carlin. There was some kind of report that came out after the movie that they were going to have a full CGI George Carlin bit, and I was like, oh, I'm glad they didn't do that fucking thing. Like I would not have stood for that.
This movie doesn't skip on CGI though. Like I was saying earlier, the budget, like it looks good. Like a lot of but I wish budget wise, my point was that like a lot of the scenes are like Bill and Ted in her room talking. I wish they could have had more leeway to go more places or have more blocked, like, they're in that mansion at one point and a lot of it's just cutaways to other rooms and then, I don't know.
And Dave Grohl, he was expensive.
That was a fun reel. Yeah.
What are you doing in my house?
This wasn't crowdfunded, right?
No, I don't think so.
This because a lot of this was able to get done after Orion Pictures reformed. It took the original company getting back into existence to get this movie out.
Well, I think Keanu and Alex Winter, they're still friends. I think they've been talking about it for a really long time.
They've been trying to get this done for years. They've talked. There are more press reports on a third Bill and Ted movie than I'd ever thought I'd ever see in my life. They extend far beyond the last couple of years.
Yeah. I was wondering if it's crowdfunded because like it is Orion, but it's like not showing up in like the box office mojo totals. Like it should be reporting, right?
If you go to Variety, I think it made like almost $2 million.
Oh.
And it's also it's not playing at any other theater chain in here other than Alamo, so maybe it's not.
Yeah, at Box Office Mojo, they put out a tweet a couple weeks ago saying a lot of their totals aren't going to be accurate at all because the studios aren't really releasing them. And
that total only includes like actual theaters, not because I know it's on demand.
Yeah, it's only theaters.
Okay. Well,
it's maybe on Variety or Hollywood Reporter. It's on one of them.
Maybe more people watched it on because it seemed like there's more buzz around this than New Mutants. A positive buzz, I guess.
Well, there might be a reason for that.
Well, I mean, I New Mutants, I think it made $7 million. So, and Unhinged held pretty well at almost $3 million. Okay. So, they're saying that Tenet will probably do $40 million next week. So, yeah.
Which is a lot. Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that's going to be our movie next week. Our movie of the week is going to be Tenet. Hey guys, do you know Tenet is the same if you read it forward or backwards? Is that a clue?
There's a word for that. What is that? It's palindrome.
Oh, thank you.
That's the spoiler that Christopher Nolan told you not to say on this show, Brad.
Is this really like part of a like Inception universe? Because the guy at the theater who talked to me said it was. I was like, I think it's just another thing.
I don't know. Is there a Nolan connected universe? I don't think so.
like I could see this being in the Inception universe, because whatever Cobb's operation is, like these could be like a counter operation.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, could you work in Memento to it? Maybe.
How does the Prestige fit into all of this? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, like I don't think Prestige would work into it.
And also, how does Interstellar fit into Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. Next week is a big movie.
Hopefully, we'll actually be in the room together, because we keep promising that and not delivering.
Yeah. So hopefully soon.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.